got your pen. You got one. This looks like the warm-up from yesterday, but it's not the same one, so it is a new one. If you don't know how to do it, you know the drill. Write down the numbers, write down the problems, write down the directions, write something on your paper. Good job, guys. Remember, if you don't know how to do it, write down the problems and all the shapes. Hold on just a second. Let me take attendance real quick. Got about half your time left, 2.5 minutes. About 45 seconds left. You are doing a really good job. I see some good shapes drawn, some good math. You're showing your work. If you are finished with your warm-up, make sure you're taking everything off of your desk so we can get started. Keep your warm-up so we can go over it. Probably it looks like aren't finished yet, and that's okay. We're going to go ahead and go over it so we can get started on what we're learning today. Up here we have the same thing that we've been working on for a few minutes, right? We have these 3 polygons, and I want you to find the area of each one. Now they're all different shapes. None of them are the same. So that first polygon, the very first one on the left, can anybody raise your hand and tell me what type of shape that is? Tyrone, what is it? Good. It's a parallelogram. And what makes it a parallelogram? Do you know?
that
Equal sides? You're close, really close. Not necessarily equal though. The opposite ones are, but they don't all, like the ones on the sides don't have to be the same as the ones on top and bottom, always. You want to call on a friend to help you explain a little bit more? Evan, what makes it a parallelogram?
They got two sets of parallel lines.
It has, all of its sides are parallel, right? And what does parallel mean?
If the lines equal, they never cross.
Good. If you extended the lines, if you extended these lines out, they would never touch. Someone in my last class gave an example like railroad tracks. If you ever think of the railroad tracks, the two lines that keep going at y'all, they never touch, right? They're parallel, they just keep going. Yes, Nina?
Well, actually, there's another way to remember parallel is in the word, there's two L's next to each other, which kind of looks like a parallel, like, because they never touch and they're both next to each other.
I like that. So Nina says that a way to remember what parallel is, think of these two L's that are written in parallelogram when you spell it out. Those two L's are parallel, right? If they extended, if they kept going, they'd never touch, they'd never cross over, right? So can anyone solve for the area of that parallelogram? Does anyone want to go to the board and solve that? Now before you volunteer, there's two things I want you to do. First thing, I want you to write the formula. Like area equals whatever it is that the formula is, and solve it. So who would like to go up there and do that? Good, go ahead. Use a black marker so it's easy to see. So you should be making sure and checking your workbook in Stebbins. He's going to explain what he's doing and make sure that yours is correct. What else? Centimeters. Yes. Alright, Devin, you want to explain what you did?
Area equals base times height. Then the base is 6. And then the height is 5. So I did 5 times 6 equals 30. And then I added the units.
And they're always in square units, right? Can you put that to acronym? So base times height is how you find the area of a parallelogram. So Adrian, if you look up here, base, Adrian, think of the base of the building, right? The bottom of the building. The base of your parallelogram is 6, and then the height, you look tired. Look up here, the height. Think about when you measure your height, it's up and down. The height is up and down measurement, which is 5. 5 times 6 is 30, and then you have to do units squared, centimeters squared. So the area of that parallelogram is 30 centimeters squared. Yes, Joel, you have a question? I can hear you. Hold on just a second. Is there any questions about how to find the area of a parallelogram? Emily, did you get that? Did you get 30? Okay. Joel, would you like to come up and do the second shape? First of all, tell the class what shape that is. It's a triangle, good. Come up and label it triangle, the solid parallelogram, and I need the formula, and I want you to solve it, right? Alright, Nicole, will you tell everyone what the formula for a triangle is? I know you can talk about it, come on. You are correct. If you can't hear her, her formula is up on the board and it is right. She's got it right. It's 1/2 times the base times the height. Now, Ashol, you've got 10 times 6 up there. What does 10 represent? The what? It is the height, and what does your 6 up there represent? The base, because the bottom piece is your base, up and down vertical is your height. Now, so, did you leave something out of your formula? Or is it all in there? You think she left something out?
Yeah.
MBO, what do you think she left out? Right? Because at the beginning of your formula, you have 1/2 times base times height. So all you have to do is take half of that. Oh, what? What? Don't erase it. You got it good so far. What? Can anybody raise your hand and tell her? She just has to do one simple step. She's done great so far. She just has one last step. You want to call on somebody to help you out?
For the tendencies, you got to put a 5 because that has to fit with the
Now, does she have to put 5 there? Is there something where she just, that would work because half of 10 is 5 and that's the start. But with what she has already, without having to erase anything, is there something she could do to that?
You say that. You can just, tell us the 60 that I have and then the equal what plus.
I'll defer to the side. Maybe to make sure it's right. Just make sure it is. So what did you tell her to do, Devin?
I had to do 60 times a half.
Sixty times 1/2. Okay, and what would 1/2 of 60 be, Joel? 30, right? It's the same as dividing by 2. So take half of 60, and then that would be your answer. Because you've got to make sure to either divide those by 2 or multiply by 1/2. They're the same thing. Are all these answers because you want to do the next one? Calm down for a second. If you have an actual question, you can keep your answers. Yes, Cole. There's a couple people in front of you that I'll add you to the list, okay? You need the list. Alright, so Ashol got 30 because 1/2 of the base, which was 6, half of 6 is 3, and then 3 times the height of 10 is 30. There's a few different ways you could go about doing that, but in the end, you should have got 30 centimeters squared. You've got to make sure that you keep your units, your centimeters, and it's in units squared. Questions about the triangle? No questions? Mean to head up. Alright, who would like to do the trapezoid? I didn't tell you what that was. Who would like to do the next shape? Sarah, go ahead. Oh, I'll go on you all next time. First of all, Tyrone, what shape is that? It's a trapezoid. So label a trapezoid for me so we know which one we're talking about and write the formula for a trapezoid down. Yes.
Say that one.
It's up to you.
It's an I.
O-I-D. Trapezoid. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's not right.
Might be with an E. You all know what he's talking about, right? Yes, Rodney. What's up? I was just we are on the last shape, the trapezoid. They're also up there. have your formula written down and solve it. So Tyrone, what are our two bases? 7 and 5. Remember, base of the building, like the bottom and then the parallel line. Usually, a lot of times they're like top and bottom, not always. Those are your two bases. So you start by adding 7 plus 5, just how Tyrone has done for us. So far you've done 7 plus 5, and then what's that 3 for? What does that represent? Then why wouldn't you write times like what the number it says? You got that it equals 3, that's not true. There you go, that works. Good. So you do your two bases added together, 7 plus 5, which gets you 12. Then Tyrone has multiplied by his height, which is 3. 12 times 3 gets you
48.
36. See what Tyrone gets. 36, good. And then you gotta divide it by 2. Beautiful, long division, I love it. Fernando, do you have all this written down?
Let's see.
Well, look at your, what does it say up there? What are the units? On trapezoid? Centimeters squared, right? So your last one ends up being 18 centimeters squared. Thumbs up if you actually got that on your own. Anybody? Is that pretty good? Mila, you got it? Good, a few people. If not, we're going to continue to practice them. Don't worry. They'll be on our warm-ups for the next few days. We will continue to practice it. Circle that answer for me so you can see it. There we go. Any questions about the trapezoid or any of the other polygons? Yes, it's all.
Right there on the long division. It says,
The 21. This is just like an arrow. He's bringing down his 6. Okay. Does that make sense? So he did like 3 minus 2 and got 1, and he brought down his 6. Very good. Any other questions? What you need? All right, if you don't have any other questions, I need you to take everything off your desk except your math notebook if you have it, or if you have a piece of paper for if you don't have your math notebook. Something to write with in your math notebook. You need paper. What? Things for that? Things for that? Alright, everything should be off your desk except the math notebook. Yes. If you do what? There's 2 more people in front of you. Okay. Alright, you should have your math notebook. Indy, I need everything else off your desk. Lexi, Gary, Rodney, everything else off of your desk. Is there anyone that needs a piece of paper to write your notebook entry on? Because you have forgotten to bring your math notebook to class. should be off of your desk. It's Friday, that should be off of your desk. Alright, what I want you to do, I'm going to do this a little bit differently today. Usually I do the document camera and you just copy what I write into the document camera, right? Instead today what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a poster. So we can hang it up in the room and we can use that as reference when we're solving problems. So even though I'm creating the poster, you are going to copy the poster into your math notebook. Alright, it's not much, it's 2 definitions. So go ahead, in your table of contents, open up, you have your math notebook, and your title needs to be mean and median. Right there. Because today we're, so India says she's heard those words before, mean and median. Yeah, thumbs up if you've heard those words before, if you remember learning about those. Just Daisy and India. Alright, we are going to learn about mean and median today. What? We're not going to worry about that today. Okay? Alright, in your table of contents, your title is mean and median. After you write your title, the first thing I want you to put on your notebook. The first thing in your math notebook on the first line, I want you to write your I-can statement. So write mean and median as the title, then write your I-can statement on the first line. Mean and median. Can you see it up there? What's underlined is orange. No, A grade is this.
But
Alright, I'm seeing blank papers. I need the title. This up here, label title. Mean and median is your title. Right on, carry on. Mean and median, your title of your notebook entry. Write it down. Mean and median, your title. Yes, Rodney. Yes, and then the first line of your paper is your I-can statement. Put a little star so you know what we're going to learn today. We're going to learn how to determine mean and median from a data set. Yes. Write your I-can statement. Your I-can statement. You need to say that. Not right now. I'm going to start the activity. Janaya. Alright, one last time because I still see empty papers. Your title, all you're doing is copying. Mean and median. What's underlined in your I-can statement is your title. Then you write your I-can statement. Do you have your I-can statement written? Alright, do not put it on whatever you're doing. Yes, Rodney. Okay, the first thing in your math notebook. On our poster, we are going to write the first word, mean, that we are going to learn about. India said that she remembers learning about this. Some of you do not. That's okay. Write this as a title word. So write it bigger than the rest of your text. Mean. And it's just like when you're not nice. It's spelled just like that. Mean.
But it doesn't mean.
That's not what it means. No. So the word is mean. That should be written the first thing under your I-can statement. Mean.
Is that right?
Bigger than what you write the rest, yes.
So is that how do you?
No, this is your title here.
Well, alright, so good.
I'm writing it big because it's a poster that's going to hang up in the room. You can use it as a definition if you want. Like underline and color, that's fine. So the mean is the sum mean is the sum. Do you all know what that word means, sum?
Yes.
Raise your hand if you can tell me what it means. Janai, what does it mean?
Some means like the answer.
To what? The answer to what?
Addition.
An addition problem. Good. So sum just means the answer to an addition problem. So mean is the sum of a set of numbers divided, and if I'm in your way, I'll move in just a minute. Divided by the number of numbers in the set. Yes.
Hey, do you want us, like, how do you have that to your colors? Do you want us to underline it?
That's a good question. Those words that I have in blue, you may want to underline because they're kind of like the steps that you take. They're very important, the main points of the definition. So underline those or put a bubble around them so they will stick out. So the mean is the sum of a set of numbers divided by the number of numbers in the set. And that's a lot of terms that may be confusing, but we're going to do a practice example in just a minute to help you better understand. Once you're finished writing that, put your pencil down so I know I can move on. Scoot it to your table. So once again, pencils down so I know when I can move on. Alright, it looks like just about everybody's finished writing that. So for example, I'm going to give you an example. When you have a set of numbers, that just means that you have a bunch of numbers. Maybe a small amount, maybe a really large amount, but a set just means that you have a group of them. So, Deontay, what number were you when you played basketball? 1. Devin, what number are you?
23.
De'Aaron, what's your favorite number?
Don't say 16.
16? Mina, what's your favorite number? 19? Raywan, what's yours? 17? 7. Just 7? Alright, 7. Okay, that's the only amount of numbers that we're going to work with right now. We have 5 numbers up here. Deontay, this is our set of numbers, okay? We have 1, 23, 16, 19, and 7. De'Aaron, you have a question? Can you wait until we start the activity and then I'll send a few people? Now, Deontay and Adrian are going to pass out some calculators for us to use. Go ahead and turn your calculator on. In order to find the mean of this data set, you have 5 numbers. I don't need to know the calculators. Okay, these are our numbers. We have 1, 23, 16, 19, and 7. In order to find the mean, you add those numbers together. So on your calculator, type in those numbers to add together. 1 plus 23 plus 16 plus 19 plus 7. Don't yell it out. De'Aaron, punch in the numbers. Rayvon, punch in the numbers. Lexi, punch in the numbers. Not it. Right here. These are our numbers.
Wait,
1 plus 23 plus 16 plus 19 plus 7. Those are our 5 numbers. Tyrone, what did you get?
66.
66. I asked Tyrone.
Oh, sorry.
66. Mitchell, what did you get? 66. De'Arian, what did you get? Open your calculator. Jacob, what did you get? Alright, the answer is 66. Now, so far, if you look at our definition, it says the sum of a set of numbers. So far, we have found the sum of the set. We've added them together. But then, it has to be divided by the number of numbers in the set. Lexi. Lexi.
She has my pencil.
Lexi. Lexi, look at me.
I know she has my pencil.
You just using it right there. Now you take those numbers, your sum, and you divide it by the number of numbers in the set. How many numbers do we have here? 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you take 66 and you divide it by 5. And that will get you the mean. What did you get, Rodney? 13.2. How do you say that mathematically? What? Not point. And 2 tenths. 13 and 2 tenths. Good. So that is how you find the mean. You add all the numbers together and then you divide by how many you have. Questions on how we got that? Yes, Mitchell. Why do we divide by 5? Because what you have to do is divide by the number of numbers you have. So if you notice in our set, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You do not have to write this on your paper. You might want to as an example to look back on, but you don't have to. Alright, so that's our first term. The second one we have to learn about is median, our second one. So you need to somehow separate these and write your next word, which is median. Median. Now after you write that, I know you all are only like 11, 12, or 6th graders and you don't drive, but you all been in cars or you've been on a tarp before. If you're on a road and you're trying to pull out like of a subdivision, say a subdivision, and you can't get all the way across the turn. Like you're trying to turn left, you're trying to get out, but so you have to stop at something on the road. Do you know what I'm talking about? There's like yellow lines in the middle, right? Do you all know what I'm talking about? If you have a road, say this is your road and this is your house over here, and you're trying to get on this side, you want to go this way. In order to turn left out of here, it's really difficult because there's so much traffic, right? But there's like this yellow line in the middle, like Devin just said in the middle, that you can pull out onto. De'Arian, you know what I'm talking about? Have you ever been in a car where you've had to pull out into one of those?
Like a boulder.
There's like a spot in the middle of the road that you can pull out onto. There's 2 yellow lines. Does anybody know what that's called?
Intersection.
What then? It's called the median. Okay? So that thing in the middle of the road is called the median. With that being said, what do you think the median of a set of numbers is going to be? Raise your hand and I'll call out. Mina, what do you think? Yes.
Separating.
Separating them somehow? Okay, that is, we are gonna somehow separate them. What else do you think? What?
Maybe. Kind of.
You're trying to be on the right track. It's a good thought, okay? There's a little bit extra.
And then you have a road, you have the lines, and on each line there's one of the parts. And so there's different groups on each side of the line, so it's like
Okay.
groups.
So think about this. Hold on, Tina. I'm gonna call you this trick. Think about this, Tina. You have a median in the middle of the road, right? You have your lane that's going all the way down to Thornton's to get your toffees, and then you have your other lane that's going down the road to McDonald's, and then you have a median in the middle. So what do you think in that set of numbers? What do you think the median would be? Why would you say 15? Because it's the middle? So it'd be the number in the middle, maybe? All right. You're right. However, there's something that we have to do first. So she is right. It is the number that's in the middle. But in order to get the number in the middle, you have to put them in order, numerical order. So the definition of median is the middle. Think about the road in the middle for median. The middle number when data, which is just like your number set, is arranged in numerical order. So the median will be the number in the middle after you list them in order. So you can list them from least to greatest. For the mean? Alright. So right on. If we want to put this data set, the same data set that we just did to find the mean, if we want to put it in numerical order, from least to greatest, what would my order be? 1. Alright, 1 first. 7 next, because that's the next highest. 16. 19. Perfect. Thank you, everyone. If you want to find the median, you always have to do this first. You always got to put them in numerical order. Alright? Then your next step is to find which one is in the middle. And right now it's kind of easy. There's not many numbers. You can easily see which one's in the middle, right? 16. Yeah. But what if there's a ton of numbers?
You count them,
You can count them?
and then I'm gonna count them.
Okay.
And then divide them by 2.
That will work. Divide by 2 and then count that number?
No, count the row is a better one.
Okay. Stop counting. Yes, Daisy? How would you, if you had a bunch of numbers in your set, how would you find median? Okay, so kind of just gauge which one's the greatest and less and find the one in the middle. Alright, let me show you an example. Everybody look up here. Cole, Adrian, Tyrone, eyes up here so I can show you this very quickly. De'Arion, eyes up here. Jacob, eyes up here. Whenever you have a data set, what you can do is you can cross out the numbers on the left and the right and work your way in until you get to the middle. So here, I'm going to cross out these 2, and then I'll cross out another 2, and then I'll realize I'm in the middle, and that will give you your median. So cross them out on the edges until you reach the middle, and that will help you easily find the median. Okay? Questions about that? No? Alright, once you have that written down, I need you to put your pencils down because you're not going to use them for about the next 5 minutes. I'm moving it over. our shoe sizes. So for example, my shoe size is a 9. So I'm going to plot that right there. I'm bigger than you. Whoa. They're not that big, are they?
I wear size 6.
Okay, so we're going to go around the room and I'm going to collect. You're going to have a chance to share. I'm going to go around the room, collect data from you, and then we're going to find the mean and median of our shoe sizes. So, Jacob, what size shoe do you wear? 13.
Oh, you're pretty big.
India, what size shoe do you wear? 7. Rodney?
7.
Jason?
It's not.
What size shoe do you wear?
7.5.
Ashol? 8.5? Cole?
9. Then you got the
Tyrone? Hold on just a second. I don't need any disrespectful comments towards anyone, okay? Thank you. Tyrone, what do you wear? A what? What size shoe do you wear in American shoe sizes? A 7? Deontay? Adrian? I don't know. You don't know, check your shoes. Fernando, what size do you wear? 8. Lexi? What size shoe do you wear?
5.
Raymond, what size shoe do you wear? Dearion, what size shoe do you wear?
No, we do not. I'm joking, I wear 7.
What size, Dearion?
6. That size 10.
Janiyah?
I wear size 7.
7. Lena?
4.5. What? I got small. Oh, that means 10.
7.
What size shoes you wear?
Adrian, did you figure it out?
13.
Adrian, did you figure it out? No. Can you guess? No, I don't want that. Alright, we won't include you on our data set. Alright, bring it back up here. Dearion, I need you to face forward. Alright, let's look at our data set. I need everyone up here and focus for the next 3 minutes so we can do an activity after this. I'll tell you in a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Alright, we have a set of data. Everyone look up at the board. Adrian, Deontay. Now, the first thing we need to do is find the mean of our data set. What is the first thing we have to do with our numbers to find the mean? Raise your hand if you can tell me the first thing we have to do. Ashol, what do we have to do? What is the first step to find the mean? What? Look up here. The sum of a set of numbers. What is add them up, right, Janiyah? So everybody take your calculator and turn it on. Calculators in hands. I want to see calculators in hands. Thank you, Raymond. Dearion, I want to see calculators in hands. What I need you to do is add up all of our data. And I'm going to read them out to you in point. We have 4 plus 4.5, so you have 4.5. Tyrone. So we have 4 plus 4.5 plus 5 plus 6. And now we have 4 sevens, so you've got to add all of them. So you'll do plus 7 plus 7 plus 7